We are in the deep desert. Only Fremen can survive here. Don't worry. I'm taking you somewhere they will never find us.
It came very, 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 very fast. It's funny because I was trying to figure out when part 2 would start. On the Monday after the first weekend, I woke up, I was in Australia. My phone was like 83 new messages plus a gazillion number of emails. I called Denis and I said, "So what's up?" And he says, "Well, when are you available?" I said, "Okay, I guess it's now."
Looks like we're making a movie.
We are.
We're making a real movie.
It was the first time in my life as a film director that I was revisiting a universe, a story.
No, it looks amazing.
And this time, one of my main concerns was to make sure that the audience will not feel a feeling of déjà vu.
Wow.
It was important to Denis that we make sure that everything was new. And we had, I think it was over 340,000 square feet of stage space, because now going into the world of the Fremen.
We're in this initial meeting of how they were going to design the film, and I swear to God, Denis and Patrice finish each other's sentences. They're on the same page all the time.
Patrice Vermette happens to be one of the most talented humans that I've ever met. I recall on part 1 being completely blown away by his designs and the execution of his designs. But on part 2, as he showed me the designs as they were coming together, I was just like, unbelievable.
I think what was beautiful about part 1 of the aspect of it is that everybody knew exactly what was the alphabet, what were the boundaries, what were the color palette. I think we didn't have to redefine those things. We were talking using a very specific language that has been tested with part 1.
The fun part of this one is that obviously we have the world of the Fremen. It is bigger and more massive, more action, 40% more sets.
It doesn't take me to say it, but Patrice's work on this was just extraordinary. And his good humor and good spirit always brings Denis to life as well.
I mean, it doesn't take much to immerse yourself in the world, you know? It's like, what's so special is there are so many practical sets. Not everything is just blue screens and sand screens and things.
I would ask him what his inspiration for each place was, and he'd tell me one was the web of a spider, or the other one was a particular watch from the 60s and how it fit together. And it was just amazing to get to see how his inspiration then culminated into this.
But the Fremen culture is absolutely inspired by the severe condition of the environment, of the ecosystem of Arrakis. It's a planet where the temperature are super high, where water is like the gold.
This entrance here, if you see it from there, will be connected to what we have in Jordan. We have a canyon in Jordan where the Fremen expedition, they go through a canyon, they enter this, and then they enter a series of corridors, which eventually leads here.
Siege Stabra.
The influence of the siege were a lot of Middle Eastern ancient structures, you know. Again, like on ziggurat architecture, there's a motif in there, which is recurring in the sets, which is those pyramids with those holes, pigeon coops. So when I saw those, I went, okay, pigeon coop are really interesting. Right. It's a 360 set. It's circular, and again the writing on the wall. There's a bit of Egyptian. There's a bit of Art Deco mixed with ziggurat and Middle Eastern Mesopotamian architecture. This is the story. They are writing their story on the walls, their history, their culture. It is massive. Just this room, it's about 18,000 square foot. The history, and then the idea of having a lot of sand in the siege. It's like a culture that is slowly being buried. It's kind of the metaphor of that set. Sister in the Soul's well, but they've been collecting the water from the Fremen for thousands of years. So it's pouring little by little. It shows the amount of people who have participated within their death to the survival and to the dream of what the Fremen are, which is making a green planet out of Arrakis. It's the devotion. Here we are as we're entering the Cistern of Soul. It's this door, this threshold has been crossed many, many times, but as they're walking, making their way. So as you see on the floor, this path has been traveled many times before. And this is where they had the ceremony and they pour the water of the dead that they extracted in the room of the dead. And they fill this gigantic, that's gonna extend, all the way to darkness. We don't see the end of it. It's so massive. The prophecy written, the story of the Fremen is written on the floor, on the walls, and the aesthetics. Also, it's mixed with uncarved, unfinished, blocks of stone, big boulders. It's a temple. It needs to inspire something very calm.
You come in to the set and he's like, is this real? That set was emotional even. It helps you so much to get into the fiction and you understand the culture that you are supposed to represent when you are in those places.
You understand the prophecies. Our Reverend Mother is dying.
You want me to take her place?
Yes, I do.
Ramel's Den, it's something that the weight of the world is on Jessica, actually, when she drinks the water of life.
What is it?
It's a 3-foot-high ceiling.
Ramel's Den, we all know what that one is.
Oh,
The ceiling will be lower.
yeah. Much lower.
That's something that then he came up as, and at first, okay, really? Like a low ceiling? Okay, let's start at 5 feet.
Okay, should we lower it? Yeah. Go ahead, Ado. Safe, right? Yeah. Grab your arms into the wall.
It was 3.6 feet high.
Tricky to get in and out. But we managed. There's good mats. Lee made sure that there were some mats so people can come in and, be comfortable getting in. Yeah. So that's good. We're all good.
So on action, you put the stole on Ramalho right away. When you see that they did it,
I start.
you start slowly.
Okay.
One major source of light, which was like a rectangle chimney, a shaft in the middle of the room. That was one that we were a bit scared of for the comfort of the actors and the filming crew, but it worked out well.
It's tiny, it's real. We're so aware of it that we embrace every single crack, every single set.
And cut. That was perfect, madame. I deeply love it. Everything. Room, beautiful. Everybody. Okay, let's move.
That's the Maker's Temple.
This is where we are now.
So we are now. So, progress today. Started building sets in March. Now we're in mid-July. We fill with sand. There's going to be a baby sandworm. It's going to move underneath the surface. And you're gonna grab the worm there, and then go to the other side, which is the water, full fill of water. It's gonna kill sandworm. You're gonna extract the water from inside, the liquid inside the worm.
The Maker's Temple is basically 2 circles which create a figure of 8, eternity. The sand is death. The water is life. And Paul is caught in between the 2 worlds.
Climb up, rise.
I will say that one of my favorites is a set called The Cave of Birds. It's a set that was very poetic and one of the most beautiful sets I ever seen.
It's a replica of the rock formation that we find in Jordan in Dabutanet, which is kind of this melting, strange rock formation. And that's also part of why we loved it. It's out-of-worldly. This is an area, this is kind of a hiding place for the Fremen, one of the many hiding places in the deserts. It's a safe haven.
Cave of Birds is basically a bone harmonica, which is kind of weird but that was my inspiration.
It feels like the interior of a warp. This is what happened when you're getting swallowed. It's all those ridges.
It's a very organic shape. Here in the movie, we have the Fremen hiding here. After the Arconans bomb Siege Tabar, the Fremens come here to heal the wounded ones. One of the themes of the movie is cultural identity, colonization, but here you'll see motifs of fingerprints.
Fingerprints, which is another way for identity and who these people are.
Patrice really blew the roof. He was more creative than ever and really blew my mind with what he brought to the movie.
The thing that I'm most proud of was the collaborative effort, like Denis uniting, like us together, or with our collective minds together, we found solutions.